apologize if there were problems, no, or conflict with the link that I have posted on eLearn, no, kay lahi nga email ang akong nagamit sa dili siya ang katong university email. So I had to generate, no, another links. Ay pa na ko siya nabantayan nga lahi day ang nakalagin nga email. So anyways, thank you so much for coming this afternoon, no. So for this afternoon, we are going to discuss the solution for your quiz, no, on Moore's circle. So I hope you were able to understand the discussion about Moore's circle. Kaya ang Moore's circle dili lang gid siya pod applicable lang, no, sa solid mechanics. It is also applicable, I think, on sa theory, non, yeah, structural subjects. Pero for this one, we are focusing on the stresses, no, on a soil particle. So allow me, by the way, do you have any questions? I will not be discussing, no, from the beginning the topic about Moore circle because it will be redundant na on your side, no, nga maminaw pa sa video tapos inig synchronous, maminaw ra gyapon sa yaw-yaw. So diretso na nato, no. So allow me to share my screen, no, if you don't have any questions regarding the discussion on Moore circle. So sa discussion bitaw sa Moore circle, by the way, no, duha ka book akong gigamit. The one was from by Braha M. Das, and then the other was from the review book of Basavilla. Kaya ang sa kang Braha Das magud kay gi-explain pa niya dito, no, ang theoretical na side or ang explanation di ay about Moore circle, no, kung yun sa siya pag come up. And then ang sa review book magud by Besa, murag naka-shortcut na bitaw siya, murag ang important points na lang diretso ang gi-adapt kay para mas mapadali, no, ang pag-solve. So your quiz was taken from the review book, no, of Besavilla. So I will be showing you the solution by Besavilla po. Or allow me to share my screen. So gibutang lang ako siya sa PowerPoint, no, kay para ma-zoom bitaw. Ayan, wait. Sige. I hope maklaro siya di sa inyong part, no. Anong wala tayo ko andire. Okay. So this is your quiz. A soil element is shown in the figure, no. The magnitudes of stresses are, we have sigma x equal to 120, and the tau or the shear stress is equal to, awat nung gamma diri, this is actually tau, 40 kPa, and then sigma y is equal to 300, and then the theta is equal to 20 degrees, no, with the horizontal, and our plane of failure in here or plane of consideration is the plane AB, which makes 20 degrees, no, angle with the horizontal. So as we have learned in the discussion, no, so kani siya nga mga set, muni sila ang mga initial points, no, sa atong Moore circle. So let us identify, kasi Moore circle very sensitive siya sa sign convention kay para makadimao ang pagplaster, no. So nag-ingon si Moore circle nga ang counterclockwise daw is positive, and then ang compression is positive. So first, let us consider kaning sigma y, no, nga equal to 300. So meaning that this is an abscissa, no, sa ato ang Moore circle later on. So kaning 300 no, ang iyang counteraction, yung counter nga yung partner an is nara dire sa bus, no. So meaning it is directed towards our plane of failure, meaning, di ba, kung padulong siya sa isa ka point, ang force padulong sa isa ka point, it will tend to compress, no, the particle or the soil particle in this case. So meaning kani siya, kaning 300 diri will have a positive sign. So meaning this is positive x. no, on our Cartesian plane later on. So, ang kaning shear stress dari is equal to 40. So, iyang counter ani diri nga side, this one. Kaning 40, iyang counter ani is nara, no? It is direct, ang iyang ubos is not directed towards the right. So, it would incur or it would tend to produce a counterclockwise. Tama ba? Yes, a counterclockwise direction, no, of rotation, no, against or in respect with our plane AB, no, kay kung padung siya dito sa left and then napud siya encounter diri nga padulong sa right, so mutuyok siya in counterclockwise, tama, counterclockwise. So meaning kaning 40 diri nga partner sa 300 is actually a positive y, no? It's a positive ordinate sa ato ang coordinates, first set of coordinates. So the second set is this one, no? Ang kani sila diri Manitong second set. So first let us consider this sigma x, no, kaning 120. So it is directed towards gyapon towards our plane AB, no, in respect to our plane AB. So still, this sigma x in here equal to 120 is positive, no, kay compression man siya. So next, ang kaning this is tau 40, which is yes, 40, which is directed downwards. Asa na itong erase diri? Kung erase partially po, no? Which is directed downwards. And then yung counter is upwards. So meaning it will, in respect to our plane of consideration or plane of failure, AB, so kung paubos siya and then pasakaan yung counter, so it will tend to produce a yes, clockwise eh. It tends to produce a clockwise, no? Clockwise nga rotation in respect or yes, in respect to plane AB. So meaning this 40 right here is negative. So this one is our first set of points and then this one is our second set of points, no, for our Morse circle. Kaya kailangan naman tag two sets of points or two sets of coordinates so that we can start up with our Morse circle. So pwede ra gyapon nga kani may first name i-drawing. Pwede po kani first i-drawing or i-plot di ay rather. Pwede po kani first i-plot, pwede ra po kini. So, first let us plot this one, no? Kaning ang x is 300 and then ang y is 40. So, let us have 300 ang run and then ang rise is 40. So, this it is going to be this one. So if this is our origin here, no, kaning na-circle din eh. Circle yun, kanang gikuris-kurisan. So mo na siyang origin nato kibali, no. So if we are going to move 300 to the right, kaya syempre kay positive man siya, no. So butang nato mo ning 300x and then musaka din taog. I just use the pointer. So from the origin, we will move positive 300 along our x and then positive 40 along our y. So meaning this is our first point here. I will draw a yellow siguro. So this is our first point. Klaro ba? Siya maklaro. I'll just use a green. So matong first point, no, that is 300 x and then ang y is positive 40. So kani siya first set. Kung i-drawing natin siya sa itong Morse circle, we will move 300 along x and then 40 along y. So they are both positive. So the second set is positive 120 ang x and then ang y is negative 40. So let us try to draw that one, no? So we are going to move 120. So bana-bana ra gyapon ni siya. No, kung 300 na siya, so meaning ang 120 na somewhere diri ano. So we are going to move positive 120 no along our x, and then we would have to go down kay negative man atong y no by 40. So this would be our second point here. So gidrawing lang gyap gi-reflect nako diri ang ready-made nga more circle no kay para natin guide kung sa itsura kay basig lahi ang itsura sa mga drawing nga circle. Okay. So mini siya ang atong second color. So muna siya atong second point. So naman tayo duha ka points no. Initially wala kay circle diri initially wala pa ni circle. So ang naa pa diri is ang kaning Cartesian plane and then duha rin ka point. So the next thing you would have to do is connect these 2 points. So simply draw a line no to connect these two. So mag-drawing ko green lang gyapon. So mo ni siya. Maklaro ba? Yes, naklaro na siya. Okay, so mo ni siya ang ato ang diameter sa ato ang more circle. Okay, so everything will be referred or referenced from this. Okay, bakit kayo? Wait. Nahiwi siya. Naklaro di siya. Wait. Okay. So ano na lang siya, no? So first, we have to identify, no, the distance of our center from the origin. So kani siya. This is our center here, no? So we have the radius and the radius. So kani siyang 210 diri okay. So this is basically 300 minus the radius, no? So kani man na siya kani nga distance, no? Kana siya nga distance. So basically that is 300. Okay, 300 man yung farthest point. This one. No, this one. Sorry. This one right here. So basically, that is. Wait a moment. Yes. Because this is 300, no? And this is 120. So the remaining is 180. And then you would have to divide that by 2. So this would make this dimension here 90 both sides. So meaning, if this is 90, so that is merely subtraction, no, of the dimensions. Okay. Kani siya 300, and then we have here 120 ang given. So kani is 180. So you'd have to divide it by 2. Kay equal man siya. So that would make it 90, no, on both sides. So if this is 120 plus 90, no, kanidiri that would make the distance of our center from the origin equal to 210. That is 120 plus 90. Okay, so we already now have the value for our center, no, which is this one, which is the 210, sorry, 210. So now let us compute for the radius, no? So pag na-circle, the next one we have to do is identify the distance of the center, and the next one would be the radius. So pwede ra unahon ang center, ulahi ang radius, pwede ra pud unahon ang radius, and then ulahi ang center. Okay. So for us to be able to get, no, our radius, diba, dito sa discussion, we have to consider this triangle here. So this triangle, no, kani nga triangle. Klaro ba siya? Okay. Basta kani siya nga triangle din apart. So I would have to delete that one. So in this triangle, with the given dimensions, no, in our circle, this base of the triangle is equal to 19 as we have previously identified. And then kaning iyahang vertical, or yes, the vertical dimension of this right triangle is equal to 40, no? Kay kaganiha na-identify na mato nga kani nga point, ang iyahang ordinate is equal to 40, positive 40. So meaning kaning side is 40. So meaning the radius, so this is a right triangle, therefore we can use the Pythagorean theorem to solve for the hypotenuse. Now in this case, that is the radius. So that is 90 squared plus 40 squared, no, is equal to r squared, and radius is equal to 98.5. So that is this one. And then this angle 2 theta in here. So I hope you don't get confused, no? Ang kaning 2 theta diri is not yet actually the 2 theta yun nga movement sa atong Mohr circle. So this is just merely the angle, no, that these initial points make with the horizontal. So kaning 2 theta diri, lahi pud ni siya sa atong 2 theta bitaw nga para ma-reflect na nato ang kaning plane of consideration AB. So do not be confused, no, with the 2 theta in here. So this angle in here we can solve, no, this using the tangent function, no. Tangent is opposite over adjacent. So tangent theta is equal to opposite, which is 40, over the adjacent 90. So this angle in here is equal to 23.96. So this is not really necessarily the 2 theta, no, nga katong movement sa atong Mohr circle. So kani siya nga angle din will be useful for us later on, no, once we proceed with the determination of the normal stress and the shear stress. So initially gisolve lang sa nato na siya. Okay, so pila man ni siya. That is the center plus the radius. So basically, that is 210 plus the radius, which is equal to 98.5, meaning our major principal stress is equal to 308.5 kPa. So manan na siya dili. Now, so our minor principal stress is the nearest, no, the nearest point away from our origin in the Mohr circle. So basically, that is this one. Na siyang point. So to get this, this is our minor principal stress, that is the center minus the radius. So meaning that is 210 minus 98.5. That is this dimension. That is this distance. That is equal to 111.5 kPa. So mana siya atong major o minor principal stress. So now, to proceed with the normal stress on AB and the shear stress on plane AB, we have to go to this another set of circle. No? Basically, this is just the same circle. No? Ang katong points, initial points sa atong Mohr circle, kay mo man ni siya. Mao ni siya. And then katong theta kaganyan nga atong na-initially solve, this is this one, no? That is 23.96. That will help us later on, no, in the solution, no, further solution. So ingon daw dito sa principle sa Mohr circle nga, in order for us to reflect, no, this plane AB here, we have to move, no, from our actually, kani siya nga plane diri kani is actually this horizontal part diri kung asa nagdikit ang ato ang AB. No, kani siya. Kana muna siya ang iyang kuan. If we are going to name this as 0.12, no, para lang to reflect, no. If this is 0.1 and this is 0.2, muna po siya ang 0.1 in here and then 0.2, no. So murag mo ni siya ang the way pag-reflect sa kaninga point, no, kung asa nagpikit or asa na recon ang angle sa ato ang plane of consideration AB. So ana si Mohr circle yun. From this reference point, mag-move daw ka og equal to 2 or twice this angle here. So meaning you have to move twice this one, that is 40 degrees kay 20 minutes siya. 40 degrees, no? And then ang movement man niya ani is counterclockwise, no? So from point or from line 1 to, you have to move 2 theta in counterclockwise direction. No? So same po atong buhaton diri. So from line 1 to, we have to move 40 degrees counterclockwise, no? So from kani, we have to move 40 degrees counterclockwise. So that we would have, we can now reflect, no, the point of or plane of failure or plane of consideration, AB. So if we are going to move 40 degrees counterclockwise from line 1 to, then we would have, and then project a line, no? Project a line here parallel to this one. Actually, that is 40 degrees. So if you're going to, yes, you would have point B, and then you just have to project a line, no, to reflect this point AB here. So you would have, ano, violet ni siya. Just use red. So kani siyang we would come up with our plane AB or line AB here. So muna siya, no, kanang color red. So that is 40 degrees from line 1 to. Okay. So now, our normal stress is actually the x coordinate of this point. And our shear stress is the y coordinate of this point. So meaning, the normal stress is the abscissa of this point, and our shear stress is the ordinate of this point. So we just have to play with the dimensions of the Mohr circle in the Mohr circle. So let me just erase this one so that we can draw things clearly. All right. So for us to get the abscissa or the x value, no, in the Cartesian plane of this point B here. So let me just draw. Drawingan na lang nato siya dito. So muna itong i-consider no ang point B. Kana. Kao na to ang iyahang x o ang iyahang y. No? Mo tong goal diri makuha na to ang iyang x o iyahang y. So for us to get the x first, which would be the normal stress on AB, that is the center plus this one, this distance, kaning gamay diri, which is denoted by x. No? So basically, the abscissa of this point is 210 plus x. No? So now we have to compute for the value of x, so that we can add that one with 210, so that would now become the normal stress of our plane AB. So for us to get this x right here, let us consider this triangle. So let me draw the marag kuan mo gini siya, no, labanan na siya ng triangle ang diri nga part sa Mohr circle. So kung makapurma ka dag triangle with known angles and dimensions of the triangle, then bira so muna na siya, no. So for us to get this x in here, so muna siya no ang x, let us consider this right triangle. Let us draw a right triangle here. Okay, so I hope maklaro na siya, no? Okay. So that triangle. Okay. So the hypotenuse of this triangle is actually the radius man, di ba? So this is the hypotenuse, meaning this is equal to the radius, no? And then this theta in here, the theta in this right angle, yung theta diya nga part, is equal to 40 plus 23.96, no? So that is 63. Ay, naraday. 63.96. This is 63.96. So we cannot use the vertical dimension of this triangle kay unknown gyapon siya, no? So unsay given nato diri ani nga triangle, we have the value of the hypotenuse and the angle between the base of the triangle and the hypotenuse, meaning we can use the cosine function, no, which says that cosine theta is equal to adjacent over the hypotenuse. So we can solve for the x in here, which is equal to 43.23. No, that is cosine theta, cosine 63.96 is equal to adjacent x over the hypotenuse. So if you are going to formula transform that one, then you would come up with this equation, no, that will enable us to get the value of our x in here. So therefore, the normal stress on AB is equal to 210 plus x. Now that is 210 plus x. That is equal to 253.24 kPa. So now, since sa kaning atong triangle na i-consider, na-reflect gyapon or magamit gyapon nato ang vertical dimension of the triangle, which is our tau, or that is actually the y coordinate of this point, no? So if we are going to solve for this height of the triangle or the vertical dimension of the triangle, that is just equal to sine theta over sine theta is equal to this tau over the hypotenuse, which is equal to r, or the radius. So we would come up with the value of this height of the triangle, which is equal to the tau, or the shear stress, or the y coordinate of this point. That is equal to 88.5 kPa. So therefore, the shear stress on plane AB is equal to 88.5. So that would be all, no, for the solution of your quiz. So do you have any questions? So I think none. So I hope I am assuming that you were able to understand the concept of Mohr circle. Kay kanina ba siya is gagawas, no? Gagawas siya sa board exam kauban sa katong triaxial or direct shear stress. So doing drawing lang show. And anyway, speaking of the board exam, no, today is the day one. Kaganiha di ay is the day one of the board exam. So let us continue to pray, no, for our fellow civil engineers. Battling for their life, so battling for that license. So do you have any more questions? So if none, no, I hope everyone has taken the quiz. And if you no longer have question, then I will not hold the class any longer. So kindly turn on your camera for a while so we can take the class picture for this session. Alright. So, nag-on naman halos ang tanan, no? So, mag-smile na ta in 3. Ano nagkatawa si Justin? Okay. So, mag-smile na ta in 3, 2, 1. Smile! Alright. So, that would be all. And thank you so much, no, for your attendance this afternoon. Okay, so the class is dismissed. Have a great rest of the night and keep safe.